Howdy folks, Stray Cat 74, welcome back to the basement of Solitude. I'm going to try and do this a little quicker so that it's not 40 or 50 minutes long. This is a Confederate LeMat revolver. This is the Army style with a little doohickey here. I wanted the Navy, but this was a ding and dent special from Taylor's & Company, and if you look on the barrel here, there's a couple of minor imperfections right there. I didn't see that in the last video. I'm going to try and make this a little quicker, so we're not going to go into too much detail, other than it's a 9-shot cap and ball pistol with a center bore 20 gauge shotgun in the center. So operation, pull back to hit the percussion cap for the pistol. Bolt this little doohickey down to hit the percussion cap on the shotgun. And if I'm very careful, I can get it to line up on these little gate, well, it's not really a gate, in between the two percussion caps for a safe position. But this folds down and the entire barrel screws off, so you can take the pistol cylinder off. We're not doing anything with that today, because what we're going to do is we're going to be making cartridges like these, which we made in the previous video, for the shotgun. We've got double odd buck, 4-buck, and 7-shot. Only we're going to do it a lot quicker. This will probably be edited ever so slightly. So just a quick overview on how we make the cartridges. These are the same coffee filters I've been using for my combustible paper cartridges. We're going to fold in half. Take our scissors. Yes, these are good fabric scissors, but I don't do anything with fabric. Now, this is a 5/8 dowel. You can see how it's got all these little ridges on there. That's not going to help us, so I took one, and using a rasp, I tapered this and then rubbed some wax on it. That line was just for measurement, so I knew where to start the taper. So what we're going to do is take one of our halves, line up flat edge with the base of here, and we're going to roll it about halfway. It doesn't have to be an exact lineup. There can be a little bit of a gap. That's okay. When we get it about half, we take our glue stick. I don't know why it's purple. Round the outside, up the flat edge, and then just in the middle a little bit. And finish rolling. Next, what we want to do is take, I usually go where you can see that little flap that's sticking up right here. Pull this down a little bit, and we want to fold in. This is loosely based on a paper cartridge for a musket, so that's where I got the idea from. So what we want is this edge to touch the back side over there. I need to pull it out a little bit more, and then kind of pinch the edges. So it looks a little like that. Then knock over our glue stick, because I'm that handy, and hit either of the two edges and then fold them in, kind of pinching them in place so that it kind of looks like that. Then across the nose, fold, and I'm going to put a little pressure on this just to help get it to set. And that forms 1/2 of our cartridge. Now, I've got a couple of them already set over here, but since I've used a bunch, I'm going to make another one. Now, it doesn't matter if you're going this from the top or from the bottom, whichever floats your boat. You can even start a little bit down a little bit and fold it over so that there's a little bit of an overlap there if you want. I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show you that it can, in fact, be done. And then about half, down the outside, and a little squiggle in the middle. And again, that come in handy. I try and find the end here so that when I fold it over, it helps hold it closed. So again, fold it till it just touches the back side there and pinch so it looks kind of like that. Glue, glue, fold. I seem to be folding the right side over first. I don't think it matters. I know there's a lot of people that say, you got to do it exactly the right way. I don't do anything exactly the right way. And then just hit the little end here. Fold that over. And again, I'm going to give it a little pressure to help hold. I'm also pulling up on here and pushing down on that so that it's nice and tight. And there's our second envelope. Now, I'm going to set these aside to dry because I've got 6 more over here. Now, I found out if I use the little baskety thing, it pours a lot easier. Well, when I do the powder. And we're going to do this in reverse order of the last time, so we're going to start with our shot. Because last time I started with the bark. This is a 290 Lee 1-ounce shot dipper. Last time it was 301. Let's add a couple. .300.7. I don't know what this white powder is. It's some kind of lubricant. Don't ask. I have no idea. Okay, the last one was 301 even. This is 300. It was 0.7. Now it's up to 0.9. Now it's back down to 0.8. Okay, turn that off. And we're going to carefully pour our shot in there. Excellent. Now we need an empty envelope, for the lack of a better term, and my glue stick that I closed up just shy of the bottom, and then up a little bit. And then we giving it a little bit of a twisty motion as far down as we can get it to go without ripping anything. We want the shot column to be well packed. Pull that out. Now we take, because we're doing a square load, matter of fact, let's see how much powder we're going to put into it. I don't want this completely full. About halfway from the rim to the handle. .45½. Now I'm going to place my bowl here so that when the powder spills, it goes back into the bowl. Give it a quick tamp. Pinch and twist. And then I'm going to tie this off. Welcome back, folks. Sorry about that. The battery in my microphone died and I had to wait 3 hours before I could pick this back up. So we did the number 7 shot. I tied it off, one on one side, one on the other side. It's fairly snug. You rip the paper just below where that is tied, dump the powder in, shove this whole thing in, that becomes the wadding. So that was number 7. Now we're going to do the number 4 buck. And of course it's not going to stand up. We'll just lean it over there. I found 18 of the number 4 buck is just about perfect. So I'm just going to pour a bunch in my hand. Yes, this is pure lead, so what we're going to do is very carefully, without dropping these or mangling anything, 2, 4, missed, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Now, if I was doing a 12 gauge, I'd put 22 of these. And of course it's going to fall over and they're going to run all over my thing here because nothing ever goes to plan. I'd have to have a plan for it to go to plan. I have a notion, not really a plan. Okay, I'm going to let that lean up against my laptop, which is over here. Camera's over here. So, what we need to do, put that on. trying something different just for the sake of doing something different. And then we shove this in here. We get that as far in as we can without tearing anything, so that the shot column can be as snug as possible. Excellent. Now, I've had to do this a couple of times because the microphone died. So, if we get this a little bit below the edge, about halfway down to the handle, that should be about enough. And if we pour it over the bowl, it doesn't spill all over the place. It's almost like I've done this a few times. Pack, and you can see the black mark. That seems to be my measurement. I did not put that there on purpose. It was just there to mark where to start beveling the edges. And it's turned into a lot more than that. So 3 fingers, pinch, twist, powder's nice and tight, shot column's pretty tight, pull out a piece of this waxed thread, well, it's dental floss, make a loop, pass it through itself once, twice, 3 times, and pull as tight as possible. I don't know if this got saved in the other video, because I think that's where the microphone cut off. During the Civil War, when they were making paper cartridges for the muskets, the people making the paper cartridges had a workspace that had a pin and a piece of twine on it attached to a dowel. And they'd wrap it around the paper and then pull to get it as tight as possible to set a crimp. And then we snip off the excess here. And that's basically where I got the idea for these. Now this is a number 4 buck, so we're going to make a notation for B on the end here to go over with the others. Now, I'm going to stop, set up for the next one, because I've got to make a couple of more envelopes, for the lack of a better term, to make our cartridge with, and then we'll get back to this. Alright, these are made. The glue's still a little damp. They haven't dried enough. Now these are double aught buckshot, and I'm going to put 9 of them in, because 9 is 1 ounce. According to everything I've read, could probably just do 8, but I want 9. Because 9 pellets goes in a 12 gauge. From all I can tell, 9 pellets goes in a 20 gauge as well, and now it's not going to want to. Hang on a second. There we go. Okay. Nine pellets goes in the 20 gauge as well. Since these are so big, they take up a lot of space. Now, before I'd make 2 little circles, one near the top and one near the middle. I decided to just smear and see if that works any better. and it's quicker, I guess. And then shove. Get some tension on that paper. Not so hard that it unfolds because it's not dry yet. Yes, I was measuring this out, but it was between 44 and 48, going halfway between the rim and the handle. But every other way I tried it, it spilled, so this doesn't spill. So, 3-finger, pinch, twist. Of course, it's not going to sit level, so I'm going to have to press it up against the keyboard on my laptop so I could do the string. We make loop, then pass the long end once, twice, 3 times around the end, and then pull really hard, then flip it over. Then on the other side, another loop. Once, twice. Come on. 3 times. And I lost the hold of it. There it is. Pull really tight. And snip the tip. Now for this one, it gets 00B for zero, or for double odd buck. Aught, A-U-G-H. And we're going to set this aside. We're going to pack all of this up and put it away. So now you can see the 3 cartridges that got made in this much shorter video that I, in absolutely no way, shape, or form, had to film multiple times because something kept messing up. Anyhow, come springtime, we'll take this out to the range and we'll shoot it. If you like today's video, folks, don't forget to hit
the like button, subscribe, tick the little bell icon for all notifications, and remember to share this on all your social media platforms so your friends can enjoy my content as well. Thank you.